So how much did you start with and how much have you gained in this journey as well?
Started with $200 trading. At the end of the week, I remember I had $5,000 in my account.
Record closing highs so far for the Dow.
Blasting through a ceiling.
In a record-setting IPO.
Investors who have been riding the wave.
I'll tell you the amount I've spent just on courses or the knowledge alone. I would say I've spent about $1,000. Anytime I get to the $1,000, some way, somehow, I become too greedy. Forex trading as the buying and selling of currencies, while stock trading is buying, selling there.
Welcome to the King Obed Podcast, the podcast that is set for your personal growth, development, inspiration, and motivation. In today's episode, we will be looking into the subject of Forex trading. And I know you are interested, and there are tips and practical ways to do this business. With me is a young and a dynamic guy who is into this space and he's doing so well. He is Richard Agyemang. So Richard, welcome to the King Obed Podcast.
All right, thank you so much for having me on this podcast.
Yes. So for how long have you been in the space of Forex trading?
Okay, I would say I've been trading for about 2 years and 4 months. Yeah, 2 years, 4 months approximately.
2 years and 4 months.
Yes.
Yes. So in a space of online trading, we have cryptocurrency, we have Binance, we have the others. Why did you decide to go into Forex?
Okay, so in the beginning, there wasn't any particular reason why I chose Forex. It was just something I chanced upon that directed my path to choose over any other financial instrument. So I met a friend when I got to UK in the beginning. I think 6 months after I got into this country, I met a friend who was into Forex trading. So she told me that she can teach me how to trade and I can be making a lot of money. So if I'm not forgetting, she told me I was going to make about $20,000 every month. And to think about such an amount of money, I said, okay, why not? Why don't I just give it a try? So in the beginning, it was more like a puppet trading. So what I mean by puppet trading is that she tells me we are buying and then I buy. She tells me we are selling, then I sell. So I don't really have any core knowledge about the trading itself, but she was directing me when to buy, when to sell, when to exit the market, when to enter the market, and then, all these stuffs. So that was how I found my way in Forex trading. So it was because I met someone who was in that field, and then it directed my path as well.
Okay, so for over 2 years that you've done this trading, what have you attained? What have you achieved in this trading?
Okay, before I even go into the monetary aspect,
yes,
I can proudly say that I have become a more disciplined person.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the requirements that every trader needs to be a successful one. Discipline forms the core of a successful trader. So I would say I have been a more successful person. I have been very, very risk averse. I was risk averse, but now I have really been able to take enough risk when it comes to entering the financial market. And then the monetary aspect, I would say I have made massive profits since I started.
Okay. So how much did you start with and how much, let's say, have you lost in this journey and how much have you gained in this journey as well?
All right, thank you. In the beginning, because I was being directed by someone to trade, she told me to deposit an amount of, I remember it was about $200. Yes. So we started with $200 and we were just trading. So she was telling me buy, sell, buy, sell. So on daily basis. And at the end of the week, I remember I had $5,000 in my account.
Wow.
When I got to realize that this is the real deal. And since then, I decided not to turn back.
Okay, so you invested $200 into it, and then in a space of 1 week, you were able to get like $5,000.
Yes, that was what happened.
So was it physical cash, or was it something that was deposited in your bank account? And did you get it, or did you utilize it again to get extra profit?
It was in my trading account, and the needs of humans are always insatiable.
Yeah.
Today I have $5,000, and because I knew I moved from $200 to $5,000, I'll try to move the $5,000 to $10,000.
Yes.
Greedy nature of humans. You get my point. So
Yeah.
that was what happened, and I was unlucky. During the time that I decided to move that $5,000 to $10,000, I lost contact with that friend who introduced me to Forex. So this time round, I was going to trade all by myself without any knowledge. And then that was when I lost the money in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
I lost all the $1,000 in 24 hours.
Okay, so even before you survive in this trade, you need to be guided and guarded by somebody.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You need someone who has to really teach you the path you need to walk on, because there are so many school of thought, so many materials, different fields, different strategies out there. But to really know which one is going to work for you, you need someone who can really direct you.
All right. So when we talk about Forex trading, what actually is it? Can you explain in lay terms to, for instance, a beginner who wants to move into the space of Forex trading? Can you explain to us?
Okay, so first of all, the term Forex comes from foreign exchange. So the Forex, the FOR, that starts with when spelling foreign, and then the exchange, the EX. So this was how the term Forex was coined. So, for every currency, there are fluctuations. So you will see that up and down movement of any currency at all, no matter how strong the economy is. You will see that up and down movement of any currency. So in forex trading, we always consider two different currencies. So in this case, let me give an example. You can take the British pound and you can take the United States dollar, and then you monitor the movement of these two currency pairs. Whilst one goes up, you should expect that the other one will go down.
Okay.
So there are things that we usually check to know and then to predict somehow that the dollar is going to gain strength or the dollar is going to lose its strength.
Okay.
So based on this knowledge, if we notice that the dollar is going to gain strength, we buy more dollar. And if it gains a lot of strength, then we sell the dollar to anybody who wants to buy dollar from us. So that is basically it. It's the buying and selling of currencies. So it's not just one currency. Always there should be two currencies. So whilst you are buying one, there should be someone on the other side who is willing to buy from you.
Okay. So it's like a rare market situation where somebody comes to buy and then there's also someone selling it.
Yes, but it doesn't happen physically. It happens online.
Okay.
So yeah, that is how it works. So it's just the buying and selling of currencies.
So are there peak periods? What times are we say that maybe it's this thing is at the peak of it, and the times you use to monitor, how does it occur? The dynamics of it.
Okay, so for every currency that you decide to trade, you have to make sure that you are trading it in the period where the banks of that particular country is open. So I would take the Japanese yen for an example. If I decide to trade the Japanese yen, I have to make sure that I am trading it in a period where the banks of Japan are opened. And if, let's say you are in UK now, around 10 p.m. till about 5 a.m. the next day, those are the periods when their banking activities are very active. So if you decide to trade the Japanese yen, you can't trade it during the day in the UK or in the morning in the UK. It has to be midnight whilst everybody else sleep. That is the time the Japanese yen, the Japanese bank are opened. if you decide to trade the dollar, you have to make sure that you are trading it from 1 p.m. UK time till about 10 p.m. UK time, because that is the period when the US banks are opened. And the reason why you have to time the opening of these banks is that they move the market. They have the capital to move the market. We call ourselves retail traders. We don't really have enough capital. Even if you have $100,000 in your account, that's still not enough to move the market even by an inch. So the big men who move the market are the big banks, the hedge funds, and then the big financial institutions. And you have to time their opening times before you can gain massive profit. So you don't just enter the market for entering sake. You have to wait for the big boys to enter, then you follow them. And in UK, if you decide to trade the pound, it means you have to time from 8 a.m. UK time till about 4 p.m. Yeah, so these are the dynamics. For every currency that you decide to trade, you have to know the times that their banks are opening, the times that their banks are closing, and then you follow suit.
Okay. So what is your strategy that you have used over these 2 years to be, to gain massive strength in this area? What are some of the strategies? Can you share with us that has helped you?
When I started,
yes,
I didn't really know that I had to know myself before I even developed a strategy to trade. So I was just following my mentor. So I was learning how he was trading. He is the type of person who has a lot of patience. He can wait for 2 weeks. Even if he doesn't get an opportunity, he can still wait. And I am the type of person who cannot wait for 3 days for an opportunity. So because of that, I had to adapt and then change my trading style. So I am an intraday trader, an intraday trader. What it means is that by the end of the day, I should know where I stand, whether I have made profits or I'm in losses. So by the end of the day, I should know the state of my account. I don't want to hold till the next day. And there are other types of traders we call swing traders. For them, they have a lot of patience. They can usually open a trade today, and then they will only exit the trade after about 2 weeks. And there are other types of traders who are fast thinkers. So their personality, they are fast thinkers. So in a split of seconds, minutes, they are able to make decisions, and they are called scalpers. So for them, in a space of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maximum 2 hours, they are out of the market, and they know whether they are in profits or in losses. So you should know your personality type, the type of person you are, and then you develop your strategy around it.
So the first step is that you should know who you are and whether you are ready to take the risk or not.
Yes. A lot of people are making it look so easy when you go online. But the sad thing is that the statistics says that only 10% of traders are profitable. So if you go online,
only 10% of traders are profitable.
Yes.
Wow.
Only 10% of traders are profitable. That is a very wild statistics. But people usually overlook it. And I don't blame them, because when you go online, everybody is saying I am making money.
So then how do you encourage or more or less motivate somebody or a beginner to go into this space? Because since of all the number of traders into this space, only 10% are profitable or are making gains. How then do you convince me to join?
Okay, so one of the key things that will make someone join is that of the 10% that are making money, when they make money, they make unlimited amount of money. So they can make any amount they want to make in the market. So you will see someone trading today, and then at the end of the day, he has made a profit of let's say $11,000. So as a beginner, if you see something like this, you will be interested. And then this is where you even forget about the statistics out there. Well, you know me personally, and then you know you came to visit me, and I started trading in the morning. and by 1 p.m. I showed you my bank account balance and you see $11,000. Aren't you going to be convinced?
Yeah.
Definitely, you are going to ask me how I do it, and then you would want me to teach you and everything. So, upon the fact that there are 90% of traders failing, the 10% that are making money are making massive amount of money. So that is the reason why people are still convinced to join. But
Okay.
this is a tip for every beginner. Once you decide to learn forex trading and you go online to search for which kind of material to study, I want you to go through a lot of them. You will see so many of them, different types of traders. In the beginning, don't try to be specific or fixated on a particular one. Try and then watch each and every one of them. If they have a course or they have a school or a mentorship that they are trading people, you go on Trustpilot. You type in the name of their school, their mentorship, or their program, whatever they are doing, and then look at the reviews that people are giving. It works a lot. I didn't do this in the beginning, and because of that, it prolonged my learning curve. But I am giving this tip so that if anybody wants to go in, it will shorten their learning curve. So when you
So
go,
once you've identified maybe like 1 or 2 people on the internet, you need to make a background check on the kind of people they are, the
yes,
kind of services they are doing, they are
they
giving
are
or they are offering.
yes. And then when you go on Trustpilot, you will see some sincere reviews. You will see a lot of them. Some are fake, but you will be able to notice the differences between the fake ones and then the genuine ones.
Yes.
And if you are convinced, if only you are convinced, then you pay money to join such a program. If you are not, there are so many of them out there. You can move on to the next one. So that is the advice I would give to any beginner who wants to start trading forex.
Wow. So all in all, you've spent money and you've lost money as well. So in this time period, what is the biggest risk that you've taken throughout the journey of you going into forex trading and then mastering it?
Okay, before I come to the maximum amount of money I have lost in this market, I'll tell you the amount I've spent just on courses or the knowledge alone.
Yeah.
Knowledge, I would say I've spent about $9,000.
Wow.
Just
$9,000
yes, just to get the best mentorship. So
on only mentorship.
only mentorship, and then books. Mentorship and then books. So
Wow.
in the beginning, there is something in trading we call cycle of doom. You will see a trader on Instagram who is showing nice cars, nice houses, showing multiple iPhone 15s, iPhone 14s, and everything.
Yes.
Going on expensive trips to Dubai and all these places, and that is not what you have to look at.
Yeah.
I know that is what draws people to buy their car. So it drew me as well. In the beginning, I was pushed towards that direction because I saw living a very good life, a life that I dreamt of living as well.
Yeah.
So I joined their courses, only to realize that the materials that they were providing were on Google. So they went on Google and then collated all the materials that they saw there and then started selling them as courses to people. And that alone, I remember I paid like $800 for that course.
Wow.
And then after learning, I went to Google and then I started seeing these materials for free. Yeah, for free. So I know someone will say, okay, then why don't I just go to Google and then start searching? It's going to take you 16 years before you get to study the right materials. It's like trying to be a medical doctor and then you decide to learn materials on Google.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know which ones you have to learn at a particular point in time.
Yes.
So you need someone to really arrange the materials for you in level of strength. So from beginners to intermediate to advanced. So this is what you really need. So you can't just go on Google and start learning. It's going to take you 16 years before you even make $1 profit.
Wow. So you spent all this money on just one single space trying to dominate. So in the space of 2 years, have you also mentored people? Have you also trained people? Have you also given people the right access to materials that you've also had access to?
Yeah, I had some friends who used to contact me about forex trading. So because of the stress I went through when I started learning, I didn't want any of them to go through that stress.
Yeah.
So I started teaching them. So I started teaching one. He went to invite his friend, and then he also went to invite another friend. So before I realized, I had 3 people teaching.
Okay.
And then I started teaching them the things that I learned, the mistakes that I made in the beginning, so that they wouldn't make the same mistakes. And as I'm talking to you now, all of them are trading and are profitable. Even some have also started teaching people for money. So yeah, I can say I have taught 3 people. Yeah, but at the moment I'm no longer teaching. Yeah.
Okay. So it means that yes, people see what you are doing and then they come on board for you to also give that kind of guidance for what you have done up to this point, why you are successful in what you are doing now.
Yes. They were close, so they saw how things were going for me.
Okay.
So they had a privilege to see how good forex trading is. And then they tapped into the knowledge that I have. And then now they are doing very, very well. I can say they are also doing very, very well. And they have 24 hours to themselves. So they can capture every opportunity in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike me, who is working full time and then trading as part time.
Okay. But you are trading as a part-time. Do you have plans of going in as a full-time trader?
Yes, definitely. So as it stands now, I trade as part-time trader. And my plan is that in a space of 3 years, I should go full time.
Okay.
I really want the time freedom, not just the financial freedom. I want the time freedom as well. So I want to get to a point where I have 24 hours all to myself. And at the same time, I am making a lot of money that can cater for everything that I can think of, provide for my family, and then do so many things and help a lot of people. So I have it in my plan to go full time.
Okay. So in the next 3 years, you want to move into the forex trading like a full-time trader.
Yes. So the plan is I will have a trading floor, and this time around I won't be teaching people online. So people will actually come in, and
Okay.
then we sit and like a classroom, and then
Yeah.
I will be teaching them. And once we spot an opportunity in the market, we all trade together, and then we make money together.
Okay.
This is my whole plan. So in a space of 3 years, this is what I want to achieve.
Okay. That is great. So you have forex trading, stock market, cryptocurrency, Binance. Are they all the same? How do they operate?
Okay, they are not the same. So
Okay.
like I explained in the beginning of this interview, I spoke about forex trading as the buying and selling of currencies,
Mm-hmm.
while stock trading is more of buying and then selling the companies in any market. It could be the UK stock market or
Yeah.
the US stock market. So let me use the US stock market as an example. So you can, for the stock market, you trade on the companies. So let me take Tesla as an example. So you buy, let's say, shares in Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and then when the prices of the shares of Tesla goes up, then you sell yours for profit.
Okay.
So it's something, I think it's the same. It can either be stock investments where you buy and hold, and when the prices appreciate, then you sell for profit.
Yeah.
So your profit can either come from dividends or capital gains. And then you can decide to trade stocks. They are two different things. Investing in stocks and then trading in stocks are two different things.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are two different things.
Okay.
So for the investment, you buy, you hold. If the value appreciates, then you get a profit.
Mm-hmm.
through capital gains or dividends. But for trading, you use some tools. We call it either technical analysis, fundamental analysis, or sentimental analysis. So for the technical analysis, you use historical price movement to predict future price movement. That is how you use technical analysis to trade. And we have fundamental analysis, where you use the interest rate policies, the economic news events of a particular bank. So let's say the US central banks, their unemployment rate, their jobless, their job claims, and then their GDP, inflation data. So all of these components combine to form the fundamental analysis. So you can use these to predict. And then we have sentimental analysis, where you will hear it in a lot of people. Like you hear from a lot of people talking that, oh, I feel the dollar is going to appreciate in value. I think the dollar is going to appreciate in value. So it's more of sentiment, what a lot of people are thinking or what a lot of people are talking about. That alone can also help people to decide whether to buy or to sell. So for trading, you speculate on a particular instrument. It can be stock, it can be currency, it can be Bitcoin, and it happens in the short term, whilst investment happens in the long term. So just take it like that. Investment happens in the long term, trading happens in the short term. So for trading, you speculate, and then for investment, you buy, you hold, and then when it appreciates in value, then you get a profit.
Okay, so the same thing also applies to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and the others.
Yes, so for cryptocurrency too, you have cryptocurrency trading, and you can have cryptocurrency investment. So for the investment, you can hear people saying that I bought Bitcoin and I am leaving it. I will only take my profits after 1 year. I don't know if you hear people saying something like that.
Yeah.
So that is Bitcoin investment. And there are people who are trading Bitcoin. So they go into the market, and based on the types of analysis I stated earlier, they will be able to speculate whether Bitcoin is going to appreciate in value or decrease in value. If they are able to know it's going to decrease in value, they sell in the market and they make profit. If they know they are going to appreciate in value, they buy and then they make profit. So these are the differences. The trading is more of speculation in a short term, and then investment is more of buying, leaving it. When it appreciates in value, then you take your profit.
Wow. So there's like a whole kind of, studies where you need to properly dedicate your time and everything to be successful in this. How important is the time factor for one to, dedicate his or her time to this process? Because it's not just, I know it's just you just don't get up and say, okay, I just want to be a trader. You need a lot of things you would have to go in as a trader. So how important is time factor?
Yeah, you need a lot of time and dedication. You have to actually train like a professional athlete. So during the main event, okay, before I even go into the points where people have started trading, when you get the materials, you have to study it like you studied in university, depending on how serious you were. You have to really study it hard. If you are working, it means when you come back from work, you have to dedicate the rest of the time through midnight and then study. And then it all depends on the motivation that or whatever that is pushing you. For me, I had seen someone making $60,000 a month, making $120,000 a month. So I wanted to be like the person. So this was my motivation. So if I am coming from an angle like this, nothing that can stop me from learning. So you need a lot of dedication just for studying the materials. And after you've grabbed the concept, you start trading. And then the trading usually takes place in a space of about 2 hours. To be sincere with you, the whole trading. Yes, happens in a space of about 2 hours. I'm talking from my experience and the
Yeah.
type of trader I am.
Yeah.
In a space of 2 hours, I am done for the day. But the main work occurs after the trading hours. So after you are done with the 2 hours trading period, you have to do something we call review. So for me, I record the screen whilst I'm trading because when you are trading, you can't think straight because of the involvement of money. So when you are trading, you can't think straight. I record the screen, and at the end of the day, even if it was 2 hours of trading period, I rewatch the video again, the screen recording.
What occurred?
What occurred? Because at that time, I have a stable mind. There is no money involved.
Yeah.
Trading is over for the day. So you can really think and analyze the things you did wrong and then the things you did right.
Okay.
This is the review I'm talking about. Sometimes for a 2 hour video, I can watch it for like 3 times. That is 6 hours. So imagine I get home from work, let's say around 6 p.m. And then from 6 p.m. till about 12 midnight, I am doing a review, just watching videos.
Wow.
A very boring video, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it for like 5 times. Sometimes I watch it 4 times, 3 times, depending on the kind of things I want to see in that video.
Yeah.
So that is where the work is. So just imagine, you need a lot of time and dedication. Even when you are having a losing day, you have to do this review. When you are having a winning day, you have to do this review. Because at the end of the day, that is what is going to make you progress.
Wow. So talking about this thinking, you need to think, you need to control, whatever. So how do you handle the market volatility and then also the emotional aspect of it? Because I know sometimes you get too emotional and there's that play of psychology in there. How do you balance all these?
It's also another field that you get to study when you, as a beginner, when you venture into forex trading. So there is something we call trading psychology. And I can tell you I have about 7 books on trading psychology alone. Yes, 7 books on trading psychology. And people would think that it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because they've not gotten to a point where they started facing psychological problems in trading.
Yeah.
When you start making money, I remember there was a time when I started making profits. I got to a point where I was making $1,000. And anytime I tried to
in a day or in a week or
$1,000 in a month.
Okay, in a month. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that was when I started trading by myself. That was the first trade, and I tried to move beyond that $1,000 threshold. And I can tell you, for like 3 months, I couldn't. Anytime I get to the $1,000, some way somehow, I become either too greedy, too fearful, I hesitate too much, or I rush too much. So I had to speak to a trading psychologist. I'm telling you how serious this thing is.
Yes.
I had to speak to a trading psychologist, and she told me that I was sabotaging myself. And I asked her, why does she think I'm sabotaging myself? She told me that I am trading for my phone. I am trading from my phone.
Okay.
So even sometimes when I am not in my right state, the phone is always available. I can just take the phone and press buttons and trade. So now I should switch from trading on the phone
to laptop.
And for laptop, you have to be seated.
Yes.
And then really focus on the screen. Then you trade. And just after 2 days of doing that, I started seeing massive profits. And in that month alone, I moved from 1,000 to about 5,000.
Wow.
And it was all because of that advice the trading psychologist gave me. So it's that serious. To know how serious it is again, trading psychology alone comprises of about 60% of the whole trading knowledge. So the technical analysis, the knowledge that you need to know whether you have to buy or to sell, contributes to 15% of what a trader needs to know.
Yeah.
Risk management contributes about 25% of what a trader needs to know. And the rest, 60%, needs to be psychology.
Psychology, so your emotions, everything together.
How to control your emotions, because you can lose $1,000, but trading psychology will tell you that you have to live to fight another day. So you have to close, go home, find something to eat, sleep, come back the next day. But as a beginner, once you lose the $1,000, you'll be tempted to revenge it.
Yeah.
And before you know, the $10,000 loss will turn to, let's say, $7,000 loss. And the next day, when you actually get a very good opportunity, and as a matter of fact, a better one than the one you had the previous day,
yes,
and you check your bank account and you don't have any money to trade. So that is how serious trading psychology is. So it's very, 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 very serious topic. But beginners don't really get to know this because of the kind of path they choose. They always follow these social media influencers who are just showing them lifestyle without actually showing them the details in trading.
So that in effect, we are always focused on the end goal, not the
Yes,
process.
yes,
And
yes,
so there are people who have developed themselves to be just psychologists to psych people into this game.
yes. I bought one book. The title is How to Be Your Own Trading Coach. He said 101 lessons to be a trading psychologist. And the one who wrote that book doesn't really make a lot of profit trading.
Yeah.
But based on the advice he gives to people are making millions. So he now decided that, okay, now I have to stop trading because I've realized
It's
I
not my
can't
job.
really trade. I can advise, but I
Yeah.
can't trade, and which is fair. If
Which is fair.
everyone was going to be sincere like this, I
Yes.
don't think there would be a lot of problem in the trading space. So he said he doesn't really have what it takes to trade, but he has what it takes to advise people how to trade. So he is a trading psychologist, a very, very, very good one. And when he advises you or when you read his book, it changes you a lot. It tells you how to be calm when you are having a losing streak, the things you need to do to be calm, when you are not patient enough, what you need to do in order to be patient. So many things when it comes to trading psychology. Yeah.
Wow. This is really insightful, and I am I've always wanted to go into this space of forex trading, but then again you hear a lot of stories about it, right? And so what are some of the factors that mitigate against the forex trading space? Like in terms of, let's say, stock, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all those. What are some of the factors that fight against it?
Okay, so first first is scam.
Okay.
So there are, like I told you in the beginning, I had to pay $800 for materials that I could have gotten on Google for free.
Yeah.
And there are people who are not making money. So some people can just go and rent Lamborghinis and then use all the money that they have on them to buy expensive clothes, and then they will appear very expensive, and then they'll make it look like they are making money from trading. They will start making courses for people and then selling the courses to them. So in this space, there are a lot of people who are selling wrong information.
They are selling wrong information to people.
And before you even realize that wrong information is being sold to you, you had already given up in trading.
Yeah.
When you start to lose money. You say that, okay, I'm not having it anymore. I'm no longer trading. I've stopped. I've quit. But that is the period where you have to dig deeper and find out why you are failing. So a lot of people give up after 6 months because when they start to learn, these gurus tell them that, oh, I can teach you for 6 months and you start making money like me, which is not true.
Yeah.
You need a minimum of 1 year.
A minimum of 1 year.
A minimum of 1 year. So this is an analogy I usually make, or I tell people whenever they ask me that can I teach them how to trade. I tell them, consider the degree that you studied in school. How many years did it take you to study that? And how much money is that degree earning you now? And I'm here telling you that I can teach you a skill that can make you $10,000 a month. and you want to tell me that you are going to use 6 months to study to learn such a skill. You know, it's all part of the greedy nature of humans. So scam is one of them.
Okay.
And two, the barrier to entry is very, very minimal. So there is low barrier to entry. Nobody will prevent you from trading. You can just deposit $20 and start trading. If it was like these financial institutions were putting restrictions on the number of people who can trade, and then the requirement that you need to go through before you can trade, I think it would have been better.
Okay.
But because of the low barrier of entry, anybody at all can start trading. And if even with the knowledge, you still need the experience before you start making money. You have to be strong psychologically before you start making money. So consider someone who doesn't have the knowledge, who is not strong psychologically, who doesn't know anything about risk management, and he has started trading. He will lose all the money and then will go out and inform people that trading is a scam.
Trading is a scam.
So first is the scam aspect of trading, and then the second is the low barrier to entry. And then the third thing is the third thing will be the tricks that these brokers use to take money from traders. So, the platforms that we use to trade, they are the brokers. And usually, when you open a position to trade, they have some tricks that they use to take money from you, commissions, slippages, and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Even when you make your profits, they will find ways of taking a lot of money from it, and then you have been losing a lot of money, and eventually you started making profits, and that profits you are making, brokers are taking some money from it. So that is also another aspect. And then an aspect where you withdraw the money, and then the banks in this country will think that you've involved yourself in money laundering activities. So it's so many things. So it takes only the resilient ones to go through these tricks and then the hardships in trading. Yeah.
Wow. So you've managed to go through all these processes, and then so now you can say like you've certified yourself and you solidify yourself as a trader.
Yes, they've all happened to me before. I have been scammed before.
Okay.
My account has been blocked because I made a withdrawal, and then the bank I was using gave me reasons that they have reasons to believe that I've involved myself in money laundering activities.
Wow.
And I'm talking to you now, I've still not gotten my money back. And that low barrier to entry thing I'm talking to you about, because nobody was restricting me when I started trading, I made $5,000 and had to give all of it back to the market because of low barrier to entry. I could just deposit any money and start clicking buttons, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You get my point. So I have passed through all these phases before. I have been scammed before. My account has been blocked because of reasons for money laundering, low barrier to entry. I had to give all the profit I've made to the market again and go back to square zero. So anything that you can talk of in the market that could hinder the progress of a trader, I have passed through before. Wow. So when I start to talk to people, I know what to tell them to avoid all these scenarios.
Wow, these are great stuff that you are sharing with us, and I know that anybody who watches or listens to today's video or audio will appreciate these information that you are sharing, and then anybody who wants to go into the space of forex trading also appreciate these information. But recently, we got the news that the U.S. stock market has fallen, and then people were a bit skeptical, and then people were rushing and causing a whole lot of things. What actually was it? What led to those things happening?
Okay, there are so many factors that contributed to that. The Asian market opens before the US market. For the stock market, it closes on Friday, and then they open on Monday.
Yeah.
But before the US banks and then the US companies open on Monday, the Asian market had already opened. Because when you check the time, they open in the night. Here is the night, but for them it's morning.
Okay.
So Japan was the only country that had zero interest rates on their borrowing. So there is something you call carry trade. People used to borrow money from Japan, and then they will invest the money in America. So they will go to Japan, borrow money, interest free, and then use that money, and then go to America and invest that money there. And then Japan decided to, okay, now we are no longer going to give money on zero interest anymore. We are going to raise our interest rate. So when it happened like that, people who used to borrow money from Japan will say, okay, now we are no longer going to borrow money from Japan. And when you borrow money from Japan, you have to convert it into dollars before you can use it to trade in America or to buy an asset or to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Now they've increased their interest rates, and if they increase their interest rates, there wouldn't be any point for investors to go there for money anymore. Because why would I go for money with interest rates and I will come back to America and convert the money, which will subsequently reduce its value? So all the investors who had their money in America, I'm talking about those who borrowed money from Japan, they now said, okay, we are not continuing with our investment anymore. We are going to withdraw our money from the market because now Japan has raised the interest rate. And we will wait. When we get better opportunity, then we reinvest our money again. So that was one reason. It's called a carry trade. So carry trade, yeah.
Okay.
So the people who were borrowing money from Japan said, okay, because they've increased their interest rate, we are no longer going to borrow the money from Japan. And the ones that we've already invested in America, let's take our money.
Wow.
So
the people were taking their monies from the American stock market.
Yes.
Because the Japanese people have increased their interest rate.
That was where it started from.
Wow.
Secondly, there was fear of recession. So, you can hear from gurus talking about, oh, I think the America is going to go into recession and all this and all that. And as an investor, if I hear this, I'll be scared.
Yeah.
So I'll cut down my spending. If I've decided to buy Tesla, let's say in 2 weeks, and I hear people talking about recession, as a wise investor, I will no longer buy the Tesla. I will decide to keep my money so that in worst case scenarios, I know I have my money intact.
Yeah.
So people were not buying. So consumer spending became very, very slow. So if people are not spending, and remember, these companies in the stock markets are the ones that people used to buy from. So if they say they are not spending, it means the companies are not going to get enough profits. So in the end, it was going to drop the stock market. That is two. And then the third thing is a sentimental push on interest rate. So they heard that the Federal Reserve of the Bank of America was giving hints about increasing their interest rates. And most of the companies in America, they rely on loans for their businesses. And let's say I used to borrow money. I'm a company. I'm owner of Tesla. I used to borrow money at an interest rate of, let's say, 4%. And now I have gotten hints that the interest rate is now going to be 7%. I'm not going to borrow a lot of money. And if I'm not going to borrow a lot of money for my business, it means I have to cut down my expenses.
Yeah.
I have to cut down my budget. And if it happens like that, it will affect profit. So that will also drop the stock market, the companies in there. And then another thing, the fourth thing was the job claims. So they released the total number of jobs the US have added to the job market. And in July, they added 114,000 jobs. In July alone.
114,000 jobs.
Yes, 114,000 new jobs in July alone.
Wow.
Even that, when you compare it to the number of jobs they released in June, I mean last last 2 months. So I am comparing the number they released in July to the ones they released in June.
Yeah.
So they realized that in June they had about 179,000 jobs as compared to the one they released in July, which was 114.
Yeah.
So in comparison, the total number of jobs have reduced drastically. And if people are not getting jobs, how are they going to get money to buy for the companies in the stock market to get money?
Okay.
So that was another factor.
Wow.
And then the conflict in the Middle East. You hear Israel trying to attack Palestine, Iran this, Iran that, that. And I remember just the weekend before the Monday, there was I think an attack on Palestine or so, and it also caused a drop. Because if it happens like that, people will take their money from the stock market and try to invest it in something safe. And in this case, the safest thing that people invest their money in is gold. So they take their money from the stock market and invest it in gold. So if I'm taking my money from the stock market, of course, you should expect a drop. Okay. So these were the 5 factors that caused the drop in the US stock market. Okay. So it wasn't a crash.
Okay. So I'm sure by now things have settled down and then it's back to its normalcy.
Yes, even a day after the drop, there was I think 60% gain in all those stocks that started dropping, and then the S&P 500 and then the indexes and all those stuff. So it wasn't a crash; it was just a temporary drop, and then things have started getting better now.
Wow! So it's still with the U.S. stock market, and in the world of cryptocurrency, forex trading, and stuff. I realized that, or I saw in the news that when Trump announced his presidential bid to come back again, I saw that the people in the cryptocurrency were jubilating that yes, it's good for them. Why was that? Is Trump somebody who is so much into that space, or what accounted for that people were so in a jubilant mood?
Yeah, Trump is a crypto enthusiast.
Okay.
He really, really, really loves crypto. So I remember he had a seminar. Okay, people were having a seminar and then they invited him.
Yeah.
And then he said something. He said, there is a future for Bitcoin. Don't sell your Bitcoin. These were the statements.
There is a future for Bitcoin. Don't sell your Bitcoin.
Don't sell your Bitcoin.
Wow.
And just that statement alone had a massive impact on Bitcoin.
Okay.
So it started rising massively just because Trump said that. And he is also a stock man. He likes investing in the stock market.
Okay.
So whenever Trump is in power, you should expect that the stock market is going to gain a lot of strength towards the upside. He invests a lot in the stock market. So whenever Trump's come into power, you should expect Bitcoin and then other stock companies to gain a lot of value just because he loves them. And then the things that he tweets on Twitter alone can move the market massively.
Wow. So that is why people were so jubilating that yes, Trump is coming back and it's going to have a huge effect on the crypto world, the forex trading world, and then the stock market as well.
Yes.
Okay. But recently, there was also one huge guy in the industry who was also arrested and prosecuted and stuff. What actually happened? The chief executive officer of Binance. He's a former chief executive officer now.
Yeah, I think he stepped down in 21st November 2023.
Oh, okay.
Because they were bombarding him with money laundering cases. So the way Binance operates, a lot of people can go there and then start making transactions. Your money can pass through there, and then on the platform, there is something we call P2P transactions, where you can sell your crypto asset to someone for real money.
Okay.
So even it got to a time, that was how I was withdrawing my profits from the market.
Yeah.
So I withdraw through crypto, and then when I get on Binance, then I sell to someone, and then the person will send me real money into my bank account. So because of how transactions are being done on the platform, a lot of people have used the medium for money laundering activities. And the regulations in the US who are responsible for making sure that these financial markets and these financial transactions are being done safely. I think they realized that people were doing these money laundering activities on the platform. So they started questioning the CEO of Binance. And then the response and then the reasons that he started giving them wasn't really good to
them.
To them. So they had to take him to court, and then they continue from there. In the beginning, I think they decided to send him to jail for like 6 years or so, but they realized that he didn't really he wasn't really informed about what
He
was
wasn't more or
expected.
less like the main actor.
Yes, and he wasn't really aware of what was expected of him.
Okay.
So instead of 6 years, I think they gave him 6 months or so. But it was really a big issue, and even that alone, I think it had an impact on Bitcoin. And during that period, Bitcoin was dropping because a huge platform that people usually trade and exchange Bitcoin on, if the CEO is being arrested on claims of money laundering and all these stuffs, then as an investor, you should have a reason to be fearful.
Wow. So talking about all this means that forex trading, stock market, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin are very good avenues for one to invest in and also get significant gains, right? So there is also the S&P 500. What are the dynamics, or how does it operate? If you can tell us more about it.
Okay, so if you decide to invest in the US stock market, you can invest in the individual stocks or the individual companies, but that is a bit risky because in a day, one company can drop in value of about 60%.
Okay.
Just in a day.
In a day?
So yes, in a day.
Wow.
So imagine you have, let's say, $10,000 on a particular company, and then that company drops 60% in a day.
You've lost 6,000 down.
Yes, that is my point. So instead of investing in these individual stocks, they have baskets of these stock companies. So the S&P 500 is a basket of 500 companies, the top 500 companies in the US.
In the US.
So the criteria they use is not something I can go in now. I can go into now because there are a lot of things they go into before they select a company to be part of the S&P 500. So they select 500 companies and then put them in one basket.
Okay.
So if you say you are investing in the S&P 500, what it means is that you've invested in every bit of the company in that basket. So you've invested in Tesla, you've invested in Netflix, you've invested in Google, you've invested in Microsoft, you've invested in
wow.
So
you're about the CEO.
Yes, so you've invested in a bit of every company in that basket.
Wow.
So if one company goes down in value, you should know that the other companies should be there to cover for that loss.
Okay.
That is an advantage for investing in the S&P 500. And historically, since 1957, where they compiled these 500 companies into one basket, it always outperforms bonds, treasury bills, and then the hedge funds or any other investment that anybody can make annually. I mean, consistently. So if you decide to invest in the S&P 500, no matter what, at the end of the year, you will get a minimum of about 10%.
Wow.
Profit on it. So what I always advise people on the S&P 500 is, if you put your money in the S&P 500, don't focus on day-to-day movements or the movements that happen on monthly basis. Don't focus on that. Always focus on the annual returns. Okay, so you will see the up and down movements of it, but you shouldn't panic because your focus is at the end of the year. Take what happened on Monday as an example. The S&P 500 dropped like, I think it dropped more than 7% on that day.
Okay.
So, as an investor, if you watch it on that day, you will be scared and you will take your money out for a loss. But if you have the patience to wait till the end of the year, that 7% drop, 2% drop, 3% drop, by the end of the year, it will be an up, down movement, and you get your 10% profit.
Okay.
So you put the money in, you leave it at the end of the year, it compounds, and then it continues every year like that. So all that you need to do is that every month you just have to deposit some money into the S&P 500, leave it. But for every investment, you should always invest an amount of money that you can afford to lose. No matter how sure you think it is, you shouldn't use your rent to invest. you shouldn't use your emergency funds to invest
yes.
money that you can afford to lose.
Wow.
So that is all I can say about the S&P 500. And it's a very, very good avenue where people invest. And I also invest there as well. When I get the money from Forex in the short term, I invest in the S&P 500 in the long term.
Wow.
And I've decided to leave it for like 20 years. I'm not going to touch it.
Great.
So that is
regardless, you're going to make profit.
Yes, that is how it is. Anybody can go and check. At the end of the year, S&P 500 will give you profit. But you know the greedy nature of people. Someone knows that at the end of the year, he'll get 10% from whichever amount he invested in S&P 500. And in the same space, he will get someone who managed to convince him that he can make 60% profit a month.
Yeah.
So he will go and withdraw the money that he's invested in S&P 500 and follow the person who is promising him 60% every month.
Yeah.
It can happen. Somebody can give you 60% in a month, but he cannot do it consistently for you.
Yeah.
That is what I mean.
Yeah.
So you will get it this month, you get it the next month, and on the third month, you will lose everything. So it's always good to invest safely.
Wow.
And the S&P 500 is the best avenue when it comes to that.
Wow. Has there been a point where you've thought of giving up on this journey because you lost something, or you lost money that you were not expecting to lose?
Yes. Despite the fact that I saw my mentor making a lot of money on monthly basis, it got to a time I nearly gave up. I have studied all the materials they've given me.
Yeah.
I have watched all the videos they've given me. The books they recommended that I should buy, I have read the books thoroughly, back to back, and I was still losing money. So I said to myself, maybe I am dumb to the extent that I cannot do anything in this market that will make me money. So I just have to quit. And it was a time pressure was mounting on me. Pressure from home, family requesting for money and everything.
Yeah.
And if you work and around the month, the money you are being paid, you will invest it in the forex market and then you lose everything. You go back to zero. You have no savings.
Yes.
You have no savings. You have no emergency funds. You have nothing.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, no, maybe this is not for me, so I should stop. And it took another psychologist to tell me that all these people that I'm seeing that making a lot of money went through this process.
Okay.
I didn't believe it, but there was a particular one who recorded his journey in the beginning, and he showed me the amount that he lost. There was money that his mom and dad had saved. I think it was their pension money or so, $200,000.
Yeah.
He lost that money in a week.
Wow.
So when I started comparing the amount he had lost to the one that I have lost, that has made me to make a decision to quit forex trading.
Yeah.
I just said no. Mine is just
you have no excuse.
Yes, let me just focus and continue. And it didn't take long. After about 4 months, that was when I started seeing money. Wow. And I said, okay. So had it been that I gave up, I wouldn't be here talking to you about forex trading. So the edge, to give up is there, especially if you consistently lose money.
Okay.
It's
So
there, and it's part of the journey. It will come.
okay. Okay. So
It will come.
based on that, what advice would you give to maybe, for instance, myself and anyone who wants to go into trading? What advice would you give to us based on all
I,
the experience that you've accumulated over these years?
I have a roadmap that I use. In the beginning, I was rushing it too much. My mentor told me, after learning all these materials, I should practice in a demo. The demo is like a virtual account where they give you an unreal money to test your skills. So he told me to do this to test my skills for 6 months before actually depositing real money to
Real
start
money,
trading.
yeah.
And I did, instead of 6 months, I did 2 months.
You wanted fast.
Thinking that I was ready for the market. And I started depositing money. And I was losing back to back to back. And I felt too big to go back on demo and practice again. So instead of going back to demo, I was still depositing my hard-earned money. And that started causing a lot of depression.
Wow.
So I had to drop the pride and then the ego and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point I said, the one who taught me trading didn't go to the university. He was a mechanic, and then one was a mechanic, and then the other one, he was a software engineer, so he went to the university. The mechanic was making money, and when he started teaching me, I said, "You are a mechanic. You didn't even go to the university. I've been to the university. I am brilliant enough to study these materials in a space of 3 months.
Yeah.
So I don't need to study for 1 year." I thought this is all about how smart you are, but no, it's the time. You need to go through that process. No matter who you are,
No matter who you are.
you have to go through that process. And I started jumping the process. And in the end, I lost money, came back to the very first step, and now follow the steps. And that was when I started making money. So for every mentor you follow, he's going to teach you the roadmap he uses. And it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow it like the way he showed you.
Yeah.
Don't try to be smart enough. Don't try to rush. If you are in a haste to make money, you are going to lose the little that you have. So you have to take off the thoughts of money from your mind, and then you focus on the process. Just consider it like you want to master it. You are on a path to mastery. And once you master it, the money will follow. If you have this mindset, you'll be successful in trading.
Wow.
But
if
if
you
you
have
come
this
in,
mindset.
if you come in with that get rich quick mentality, you are not going to make it.
And I
No.
think that mostly what make most of us, quit at, just at the beginning or in the middle of it, or we don't get to the end of it, is that we just want everything fast to happen to us. Like
Yes.
one book said that the path of least resistance and the expediency factor. When we start anything, we just want the results in just the immediate step. So it's a process and you need to go through, right? So what are some of the common misconceptions that people have about forex trading that you yourself you've heard, and you want to use this platform to debunk some of these misconceptions?
Okay, so a lot of people who do not believe it say that it's gambling. So, and the answer I usually give them is that anything we do in this life is gambling.
Yes.
Anything we do in this life is gambling. If you have a business, you are gambling. No matter the measures you put in place, you can never tell me whether you are going to be profitable at the end of the year or not. There can be a fire outbreak in your company, and all your belongings, your possessions, everything will be lost. Your documents, your profits, everything will be lost. So in this life, everything is about risk.
Yeah.
But it takes those who are able to calculate this risk to be successful. So you can't just jump in and then pumping money into it, thinking that because you are pumping money into it, you should be profitable. It's all about risk management. So I have a guideline. No matter the amount of money I decide to trade with, in a trade, I shouldn't risk more than 2%. So if I have $10,000 to trade, I shouldn't risk more than $200. So if I have this mindset, why would I lose all my money?
Okay.
But there are people who wants to move that $10,000 to $20,000 in 2 days.
A blink of an eye.
Yeah. And if you have that mindset, you will lose that $10,000.
Okay.
So you have to come in with a business mindset that you want to grow gradually, and you make the profit on consistent basis. So for me, what I strive for is to be, I wanted to be a consistently profitable trader. I am more focused on being able to make money at the end of every month, not making millions today and then losing it tomorrow. I prefer to make 1,000 today, 1,000 tomorrow, 500 the next day, 2,000 the next day, and at the end of the year, I should come out profitable. I don't want to make too much today and then lose everything tomorrow. So people saying that is gambling, they have to come again and they have to change their mindset. If not, they are really going to consider everything as gambling, because that is how life is.
Great.
And some are also saying a scam. Of course, I'm not going to say they are lying, because there are scammers in there.
Yeah.
And for every field you decide to enter, there are scammers.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk a lot about that. You go to buy, in a country where I come from, you can go and buy iPhone 15, and by the time you get home, it will be soap or something else. So if you want to tell me that because of that, everybody selling phone in the market is a scam, then it's up to you. So that is why I said in the beginning that you have to really do your research whenever you want to start forex trading. Okay. There are genuine ones there, and definitely there are scammers out there.
So are there some resources that maybe you want to suggest, or some books that you've read and it helped you, that you want to mention them to us, so that anybody watching or listening can take, a bit of it and say, okay, I just want to start forex trading, but I want to read a book about it to have an idea of what it is before maybe I can decide fully that I want to invest in that area.
Okay, before you go for someone to sell you courses whose materials are all from Google, there is a website called Baby Pips. Okay. So baby, as in baby, the normal baby, and then Pips, Pips. Okay. So babypips.com. You go there, it will teach you what forex is all about. It has a lot of materials. You can actually learn everything that you want to know in forex before you even search for a mentor. So when you go to this website, you will be able to know a lot of materials. So by the time someone even gets you to scam you, you know your way out already. Okay. So it's a very, very useful website, babypips.com. And there is this book. It's not about forex trading. It's about stock investments, and then all about this S&P 500. Okay. It's called Money Master the Game by Joel Robbins. I recommend that book to everyone. It's a very good book. Okay. Yeah.
I think I have it here. This one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the book.
Okay. By Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yeah.
Okay.
A very, very good book.
It's a good book. Okay. So these are some of the materials that you've used, and then they are helping you to make gains in this space. So when all is said and done, what are your future goals and aspirations? And in the world of forex trading, what do you want to gain from all of this? I know, money is part of it, or money might be the main goal, but what again do you want to, and what benefits will I get from getting into that space of forex trading and investing in stock, cryptocurrency, and all that?
Okay, so there are a group of people who are trading in the stock market, the forex market, the crypto market. We have the professional traders and we have the retail traders. I am not a professional trader. I am a retail trader. I sit in front of my laptop, and then when I see opportunity, then I strike. And there are a group of people who are on a trading floor. They have computers, like huge ones,
Yeah.
very mechanized system,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have traders sitting at the desk. Those are the professional traders. They have a lot of knowledge that we, the retail traders, do not have.
Yeah.
So I feel there is a gap between the professional traders and then the retail traders. So when I go full-time trading, what I want to do is that I want to bring the knowledge from the professional side of trading to the retail side of trading.
Yeah.
So just bridging the gap.
Okay.
So I want to create a platform where if anyone wants to start learning forex trading, when they come there, they will be able to get access to the materials that the professionals use in their trading.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be like they've gone to a retail trader who is teaching them something that even in the long run will not make them profitable.
Yeah.
Some of them are making money through share luck. But for those who are making money through a system they've put in place,
Mm-hmm.
they are on the right side. And then for those of us who do not really have enough materials are on the other side. So my goal is to bridge that gap, to bring the knowledge of the professionals to the retailers. That is what I want to do.
Wow. So what are some of the benefits that, like apart from the money aspect, myself as a beginner, if maybe you are convincing me to join the forex trading industry or space, what are some of the benefits you think I can have or I will get as a trader?
So first of all, it's going to reduce the number of scammers out there.
Mm-hmm.
If I am able to propagate my page out there and a lot of people know this page, there is no way people will go and then join a page that could scam them.
Yeah.
Because I will be able to convince you why you need to join my page.
Yeah.
And if possible, I will get to interview some of these professionals who everybody know that they are millionaires in trading.
Yeah.
So I will get to do, let's say, an interview with them so that they speak about the things that we need to know in their space in order to be profitable in our space. The books that they've read, the materials that they use, the softwares that they use, so that I will be able to share. So how I am going to do this, you wouldn't have any reason to doubt the materials I'm providing.
Mm-hmm.
You even decide to go and join someone who might scam you. So I will make it very, very raw, and I will provide genuine materials, that will convince people to join me.
Okay. Do you see the forex trading landscape maybe evolving in the coming years? Do you see maybe some changes to the strategies to the market, how the market operates and everything? Do you foresee something like that happening?
Yeah. Yes, I do. A lot of people are now incorporating their strategies into softwares. So instead of them sitting in front of the screen and trading by themselves, they've learned how to code, and then they've incorporated their strategy into that. So they will just open the if it's robot, they will just open that software, and then they will start trading for them. So they will set their risk and tell that if you get to 2% loss, cut the loss. I don't want to be in that trade again. And the robot will do that.
Okay.
Unlike comparing it to a human who will be in front of that screen.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm trading and I've gotten to 2% loss, something might tempt me that, okay, why don't you continue? Maybe you will get your 2% back.
You get it back.
And before you know, that 2% loss will turn into 4% loss.
And then you are going.
Yes. And you blow all your accounts. So now people are really mechanizing their system. So they are using bots to trade now. And I know a lot of them, a lot of friends who are doing that now. When you know your strength, you know that you cannot be strong psychologically.
Yeah.
You start adopting these things.
Okay.
And then AI as well. So in few years, I think there will only be few people out there who will be trading all by themselves. Most of them will incorporate their strategy into bots and then these AI stuff. So that is the what I think years to come, trading is going to be like. It's going to evolve a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there somebody now who is in today's space that you look up to? Somebody you think maybe I want to be trade up to this point and be like this guy, like somebody you are looking up to?
Yeah, there is this man. He has a trading floor in New York, Manhattan. He has been in a space for years. He's called Mike Belafori. I have 2 of his books, the Playbook and then One Good Trade. He wrote these books, very powerful books for trading, but not for beginners.
Okay.
So that is why I didn't recommend when you asked me about books. So he is in that trading space. He's a professional trader, and then he is passing on his knowledge to generations. And a lot of people, a lot of his students are making 7 figures and 8 figures in a year.
7 figures and 8
And
figures.
8 figures in a year, yeah. Anybody watching this podcast can check him out. Mike Belafori. He is doing a very, very good job. And he has a YouTube channel. The trading floor is called SMB Capital. SMB Capital. So that is a trading floor. So when he sees a talented trader, he recruits them, puts them in an environment where they will see successful traders surrounding them.
Yeah.
And then he provide them with the necessary materials. And then after about a year or 2, he gives them his real money to trade. And then based on the amount you make as profits, you'll be paid accordingly. So it's more like you eat the bird that you kill.
Wow.
So that is what he's doing. And that is something I want to emulate. So in an environment where youth do not really know a lot about trading and this space, I want to open a trading floor and with my knowledge start teaching people. And then if I realize that they've become so good at it, I can give them my own capital under my watch, and then they will trade. And based on the amount they make as profits, then I pay them. That is how how far I want to go. So I just want to be like that man.
Wow, man, you are carved for it. You are solid, and I think that you've given us insightful. This is information maybe we would have been searching on the net or be paying for to get them, but you've given us very deep details about forex trading, and I know maybe you've killed the fears of people who maybe want to go into forex trading and then they didn't have kind of the needed knowledge or the information that they needed to go into this space. So I think you've really given it to us and it's good. What will be your final words to us? Your source of any source of encouragement, motivation, anything you want to give to us as a final thing?
Yeah, so for anyone, I know everybody wants money.
Yes.
Everybody wants.
Yes.
So it shouldn't necessarily be forex trading or crypto trading or stocks trading.
Yeah.
But for whatever mode of passive income you might find yourself in, make sure you are giving it your all.
Yeah.
Give it time. Give it time. You will see someone who has been doing it for 9 years and the person is making 20,000. Of course, you don't expect to make 20,000 after 2 months compared to someone who has been doing it for 9 years.
Yeah.
So give it time and then follow the process. Make sure you follow the right person, because for every field that you will go, there are scammers. So make sure you follow the right person, and every materials that you will be given, make sure you have read or watched thoroughly, back to back to back to back to back to back, and don't be jumping. I know when you start 6 months after joining, you will see someone that you think might be better than your mentor, and you start following the person. It doesn't help. It just prolongs the learning curve. That's all. So to shorten the learning curve, be faithful to whichever mentor you choose in the beginning for a minimum of 1 year. So after 1 year, you will know if it's working for you or not. That one is better than actually leaving him after 2 months, joining another mentor. It will just become a habit and a cycle of doom. So in the long run, it will just prolongs your learning curve. So just be faithful enough and stick to one mentor and trust the process. You will get it. The urge to give up will come, but if you've really seen what is motivating you, I don't think you will give up. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for this insightful informations and then everything that you've shared on this platform today. I know viewers, I know listeners will be happy. And then we want to, is there a way we can connect with you to give us more tips beyond this podcast?
At the moment, I am not. I'm not sharing any information. So I am focused on aggregating the study materials
Okay.
for my course, but it's going to take like 3 years.
Okay.
I want to take time
Yeah.
and sieve all the rubbish and then make sure I'm giving powerful contents to the people who are going to consume it.
Okay.
So as it stands now, I am more focused on preparing the materials. So even on social media, hardly do I post my trading stuffs there.
Yeah.
I trade personally on my laptop. I make money, I'm quiet. I lose money, I'm quiet. So that is how I'm going now. So it's solely the people who are very close who sometimes they ask about these trading stuff that I teach them. But soon I'll come public with all the materials. So they should stay tuned.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on board and like I've said previously, for giving us this insightful conversation and then these tips and points about forex trading, the stock market, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and S&P 500 and all the news attached to them and all. So today we've learned really learned, and I've learned a lot about forex trading myself, from what is forex trading, the misconceptions about forex trading, and what is the difference between stock, forex trading, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and how factors mitigate against these trading markets and how even the market operate as well. The risk attached and all that, managing your emotions, the psychology and things, the materials, the resources you need to be a successful trader as well. I know it takes time, but it will definitely give you the result you want. So thank you, viewers, for watching the King Obed podcast. We are available on YouTube, the King Obed, and we are on Apple, Spotify, all the audio platforms for podcast. So find us there, connect with us, and let's continue be on a journey of growing ourselves, motivating ourselves, inspiring ourselves, like we've learned today, or we heard from Richard, giving us all the tidbits about the world of Forex. Yes, so until next time, keep yourself motivated and inspired for the journey ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye.